All right. 7th session. You're on your way south to Rivendell. And I can tell you through the cold fells anyway, which you are still in, you're getting closer to what's considered the Trollshaws, but the ground is quite rocky. And for fast moving steeds, it can be dangerous because there's sudden steep drops that could come up, and things you have to climb back up. So it does make it a bit slow going. It just means you have to be a little bit slow and careful. And plus, this is troll country. So you're not able to go as fast as you wanted to. Now, Faradrun has just left you. And you'd all been woken up. I believe it was Fulvus who was on shift at the time. But you'd all been woken up to speak to her. So, do you all go back to bed? Try to? Or is news of this too much strong on your mind that it's going to keep you awake? What's it going to be?
I think I'm gonna probably stay awake and ponder what I've heard and try and wrap my head around it. Is it true? Do I trust? Do I totally trust? No, not sure. So I'm just running it through my head as I sit there in the cold with my cloak around me, and just thinking, you know, what's the truth, and if you know, I have a little part of me that doesn't trust.
Okay.
So that's what Herobrand is doing.
Okay, this occurred in the middle of the night, so Fulvus was on watch. So the very next one on watch would have been Belaganor. Then Wanderer, and then Bane. That's what you guys had set up. So for...
Bane himself is going back to sleep.
Bane has gone back to sleep. Okay.
Fulvus also appreciates a good night of rest, so whenever his shift is done, he goes back to sleep.
Well, we'll say that since Belaganor is up, I'll go ahead and start my shift now, since I'm up. Wanderer will attempt to snooze, although she's next up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stay up for a couple hours and then probably start to doze off.
Okay. Delaray, yourself?
She would probably go to sleep. It's all very troubling to her, and meeting a Maiar is a little overwhelming for her, probably.
Okay.
The sooner we sleep, the sooner we can return to Rivendell.
Wanderer nods at that.
The sooner we return to Rivendell, the sooner we can sleep. Peacefully.
Yes, Bella. With that statement, Belaganor, a big smile comes across his face. Just memories of being there. And you finish your night's rest with no further intrusions. But you awake to a day that is overcast with a slight sprinkle of rain. And you carry on your journey. Now, we had already rolled the travel roll for Fulvus, who was your guide. And so I'm going to advance you accordingly. Now, I'm going to say that you finished off the very last, some cold venison strips. That morning. And I'm gonna just change the music because that was too happy sounding. I'm not sure if this one's going to be much better. A little better. And I need a scout to make a roll. And your scout is Bane.
Right? Yeah, my role has switched. Roll my explore. We'll see how I do.
Oh, you gotta take it off of pause mode. That would help.
Oh, smart. Maybe it's that. I feel like that might not be. Double check that before I roll.
You can do it right from the fellowship sheet.
So that's what I was gonna do, and then I read that it has my TN at 13, which confused me. Because
Is that not right?
I would love it to be at 13, which is my strength. It's supposed to be my wits, I believe.
Oh dear, is it doing something weird?
I'll just fix that to 16.
What else is broke about this code? We've been rolling this the whole time. And it's been wrong? That's not good. Wow, look at you.
I found a shortcut.
All right. So job of scout, besides setting up camp, you're also in charge of opening new trails. And you'd come across an area that was a bit boggy, quite a lot of mud. And you've managed to guide everyone around it. And you've done so in a way that's hasn't made you, make a big detour that's going to add to your time. You managed to find a way through it that had some drier sections.
I see this used to be a mountain pass. The snow melted into the bog. This way, right here.
And carefully you were all able to get through that. And which doesn't take you any longer. You're able to get just a little bit farther, and then the nighttime has come upon you. And I need to keep the calendar up. All right, and you've gone 3 days. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yes, because when you met Faradrun, that was 1 day into your journey. And it is here that you set up camp. You have now crossed over into what is considered the Troll Shaws, which is not quite so dangerous in your travel, although it is a lot of hilly area. But it is a little bit easier to traverse. And you feel like you're going to be able to, in the morning, you're going to be able to pick up the pace a bit. But you begin to see ruins of old watchtowers darted here and there as you pass by. And the campsite that you have found should you choose to make this your campsite, that is, but the time is getting on. But it's got, on 2 sides of you is the ruins of a wall, which will help keep that part of you somewhat protected and shielded from wind. There is some tree cover. It seems to be a nice little change of pace. And will you keep the same sort of watch at night?
Why not?
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bane feels good to get some stone back under him. Kind of
Yes.
cozy up against a wall.
All right. Now, food-wise, you're out of venison. I don't know if any of you carried any sort of rations with you or not. What the game doesn't do is keep you rolling, doesn't make you roll for hunting every day. And it's assumed that you're able to find something. Now, from your past journey up through the Troll Shaws, a lot of the big game doesn't really exist up here because the trolls get it. So it's a lot of smaller sort of rabbits and such that you're able to get. And you pass through the night with no event. And come the next morning, I need you to make another travel roll then, Fulvus, to see what befalls. Successful. All right. Let's see. I'm just rolling some dice, sorry. Okay. Lookouts. That is Elleray and Belaganor. I need you to make your roll, which is an awareness, but I want to, before you, when you click that, I want to see if that's telling you the right target number. If you're doing it from the fellowship sheet. Belaganor is a strength. It's it has to be the strength for both of you. Target number.
Scrolling 1 sec.
And add, since Bane reminded me, Jacob reminded me of this before we started, add a bonus die.
Says my target number is 15.
That would be, it's based upon your strength. Is that what your strength target number is?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Well, it's doing that one right. Maybe it counts
Yeah.
strength as a target number for everything, and that's its problem.
Perhaps.
My travel target number was correct.
Okay. That's weird.
Just for my explorer.
Yeah.
Understood.
I wonder if it was the guy who makes this. This was originally for first edition, and he's been modifying it for second edition. So I wonder if explorer-based skills was a strength skill in the first edition. I'm not as familiar with that. Anyway, you get a +1 on your roll there, LRA, on the bonus penalty dice.
I think I'm going to go ahead and spend a hope dice also. Not automatically.
Wow.
Everything.
Well, Belgenner saw, but you really saw. By a long shot. Let me... Hold on.
We probably could choose success conditions there.
Yes, that's what I'm looking up right now. So, I'm going to tell you what you've seen, and then you can decide how it might apply with the bonus skill special successes. It's which is a table on the screen journal. If you
I'm
don't
in it
have
now.
that. Okay. So, what you have noticed in advance with both the elves' keen senses is the sound of a deep-voiced, probably large creature, judging by the sounds of the footsteps. Kind of humming a little tune. And they're headed north. Now, with this extraordinary success, you were able to hear that from quite some time away, which is, at the moment, you guys are undercover. Now, this is after you've gotten started going on. So, you've got 2 bonuses there. You can decide if...
I mean, gain insight really makes the most sense.
Okay. And you get one
Nothing
more.
else really applies, I think, to an awareness
Not
roll.
too much. Okay.
Quietly.
Yeah. You can look and listen quietly. You don't make a sound while you do so. The insight you gain is that it is probably a stone troll, and it is, which, if exposed to the direct sunlight, as you know, is going to turn to stone. And you've got it, it's still cloudy and overcast quite a bit today. Very dark, actually. But you would know that it would still be at a disadvantage for anything that it might try to do, because it's not the same thing as nighttime. And it may be looking for a place to hole up. But you've seen it in enough advance that you could probably, as the party, you could probably find a way to hide. Although you do know that this sense of smell is very keen. Detecting direction of the wind. The wind is blowing from the east. But he is
They only
coming
saw
your way.
one troll.
Yeah, they only heard one voice. That's the other insight to give you. You only heard one, unless... No, one set of footsteps, yes.
So is it to the west? Is it to the east of us? Then?
It's coming from the south, but you don't know this yet.
Okay.
Only the lookouts do.
Okay. Gotcha.
I would tell Billiganor to go and tell the others. Well, his stealth is better. Maybe he should actually stay stealthy nearby, and I'll go back and tell the group.
He nods and draws an arrow into his new bow, whilst he goes to take cover. So I'm going to roll that for him. And if the wind is blowing from the east, he's going to go slightly west.
Although he might be scrunching his nose at the small troll.
There would be that. All right. Great success. Good man. I'm going to have him... Well, you wouldn't know it, but gonna have him. He's gotten to a place where he's actually seen it. You're too far away, or he'd let you know what he saw, but he is hidden. Okay. You get back to the camp. Ellery, that is.
There's trouble. Heavy footsteps and the voice of a stone troll approaches. It is nearing us as we speak. We must disperse quickly.
Wanderer quickly hides the evidence of a fire. And gathers up horses and sends with your dwarven companions.
We'll move to somewhat to the west.
Yes.
Is there any cover that we can see? Any?
There is, because you've come into the troll shaws. There's bits of ruin around. There's also some tree and sort of brush outcroppings that you could potentially take some hiding in.
Make our way behind some
ruins. Bane would ask Ellery, though. Only one?
One is more than enough, Master Dwarf. We've been through enough, and we must reach Rivendell without pause. We cannot risk life and limb for every enemy that walks these jaws.
We must, but we know there's a nice troll captain up there gathering trolls such as this. Deprive him of trolls, even if it's just one. And there's 1, 2, 3, last I count, decent amount of us. And 4 other dwarves besides. I kind of gestured to my dwarven compatriots, who are probably still itching for a fight after they didn't get any.
Ellery just sighs and shakes her head slightly. Yes, our numbers are greater, but
yeah. Herobrine just laughs.
If we can get the drop on it like we got the others. Either just bribing one more troll.
I didn't realize you were such a gambling... I was going to say man. Gambling dwarf. I feel...
Me and my kin don't like trolls.
Much as I wouldn't mind killing another troll, Remember when when that one did hit you?
I and see what it came to.
Yeah, well, yeah, but their
That's what I'm
encounters.
saying. I'm not saying I charge them out front. I'm saying
Oh,
obviously our friends are already hiding, so why
I
not?
mean, if we have to fight it, we fight it. But I don't know if we have to look for the fight. In this case, we might want to conserve our strength for the battles we have to fight, as opposed to the ones we choose to fight.
I suppose, though we're already heading to Rivendell, and as I said, it'd be depriving the enemy of one more soldier.
Well, we don't
I mean,
have
he is heading north.
true. But
This is kind of the borders of the Trollstraws.
well, we don't need to. Well, in that case, why are we bothering being stealthy at all, ever? Just we'll announce our presence and hope to draw as many trolls out as we can, so we can kill as many as we can.
Well, I'm not saying we go searching for a whole tribe of them. Just there's one here. They said there was one. If there was more than one,
We don't need to fight it.
You now begin to fear. You now begin to hear the footsteps in your camp. You hear what the elves were talking about.
Yeah, I'm moving toward the other side of a wall or something like that on the west, where I can kind of hide out. Have my steed kind of covered, and I can get off the. Well, I led it there. I wasn't ever on the horse. Kind of tie it off and just kind of pull my sword just to be ready if I need to.
Pulvis is also going to try and find somewhere to hide.
Okay, those of you doing that, roll your stealth. And do you have that ring, Fulvis?
Oh yeah, I do.
And is it on you?
Yeah, I'll put the ring on.
All right.
Hairbrand stealth, is that a skill? Does someone have that? I have no.
yeah, that's why I was kind of putting that out there, because I'm like, we're already not going to be great at that.
Yeah.
No.
Chris, that's a +2 on your die roll, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Wow, with all that dice. There's a few ones in there, but still, you are successful. Hairbrand, I need a roll from you.
Oh, I rolled it. Well,
Oh,
it was
did
a
you?
1. It was a 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 as well. I
Really?
don't know why. I rolled it off my character sheet. Let's see.
It's not showing up in the list.
There.
Okay,
Okay.
you're still there with me.
Anyway, regardless, it's a failure.
Okay. So you hear these footsteps approach.
My Dwarven compatriots also scattering to the wind.
Yeah, I need to make I'm not gonna roll 6 times, but
Yeah.
I will make a couple of rolls here. Hold on a second, I forgot to do that for them. There we go. Oh boy, the dwarves might as well not roll for many of them, to be honest, because they're not.
They're just not gonna be able to.
No, they're all there with me. They're all there with me. It's like, yeah, I have a 16 for wit. Hairbrand is an 18.
Actually,
Like, we're both just like, yeah.
I spell dwarf.
you have 4 dwarves with you. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for. You have 5 of them with you. Oh my god!
Of dwarves.
Yeah. It's just easier for me to fight at a certain point.
Hold on, this is hilarious. I should have made this public. Oh my god, I'm gonna make them all public in a minute here. Every single one failed. One of them rolled an Eye of Sauron. So if that was a player character, they'd be seeing a flaming eye. So I just did them all as, I don't know why it's saying Amos, but that's weird. Oh, I do know why. It's an accident. They all failed, so trying to move. So these 5 dwarves, plus Bane, plus Hairbrand,
Plus dragging the prisoner.
plus dragging that prisoner, have made a bit of a ruckus, which is true to the books, too, because the dwarves were hardly very quiet in The Hobbit while going down into Erebor with Bilbo in front. I remember that from the book. So this big creature is doom da doom da doom doom. What? Hey! And it sees these 5 dwarves and a human. Everyone else has managed to remain stealthy and hidden. Now you did notice that Wanderer was drawing her bow. And I need to drag some tokens out for you because this is going to go to battle, but no way around it. Oh dear, let's see. They're gigantic on the map. Belar, for some reason, has a torch. Just let him be glowing. He's blessed by God.
He has the fiery spirit in him.
Yeah, he does. Then there's Token, Logan, and Geely. It's on top of Logan. Over there. And then yourselves, you should be able to drag out your own tokens. I'm just going to go Theater of the Mind. I don't have a battle map for this one. I am going to be making some generic battle maps just to throw out, but I have not had a chance to, I'm afraid.
Step away from the computer for like 8 minutes. I'm still on voice though.
Okay, well, you're hidden at the moment, so that's...
How did
Yeah.
I make that?
you just drag it from the right-hand side.
Oh,
Sabella Ganor is hidden. Wanderer is hidden. And let's see.
Our poor friend, our poor prisoner Gus over here, tied up.
Yeah,
Troll coming.
I'm gonna leave him alone for but for this. I'm gonna put Eloray's token out there, although
He's like, please let me out. I do not want to be eaten.
Bill Ganor is actually further up and can get in and got a very good roll, so he can flank the troll. Everyone's a different size. Oh well. Maybe I can, oh yeah, I forgot I can. Human stays the right size. All right. Much giant. All right, let's put everyone in a combat tracker. Something not working. What's going on? Why can't I select?
Oh, clear.
Okay, well, you can do it one at a time. Just trying to select the whole lot of you at once.
Huh.
That was weird.
I wonder if the words count as tokens. You might be sure.
Ah, you know what? That might have been the thing that was throwing it off there. Well, that's a lot of you. All right, now I've gotten rid of the timer of last time, and I've also got rid of the marker because it wasn't quite relevant. And we are at opening volley. So those with ranged weapons. I'm going to let Bill Ganor get a shot off first because he took some hiding. Early, so he had an advance warning on it. Damn it. I forgot I had to do it differently as a GM. Okay. Alright. Public roll. There we go. He's going to try out his new bow. And sorry, Lampshade. Very first time to use the new bow, and I ruin it for you. All right, and Wanderer had taken. She was able to hide and drawn out her bow. I don't know if any of the rest of you are going to try some ranged weapons, but you may go ahead and roll that. Well, so sorry.
Is he gonna close in 1 or 2 rounds?
Um,
Kind of might determine
so
what
you've
he's
got.
gonna do.
I let them have an advance. He's going to close in 2.
All right.
I have a
I will then-
question.
I will throw my axe.
If I want to try and awe him or make him fear us or me,
Yeah.
can I do that from a distance? Can I do that now, or do I have to wait till he closes?
Yeah, you got it too close. That's a forward stance sort of maneuver to where you're like running
Yeah.
up like a beast, sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So everyone who's gone that round who wants to, you get another round to shoot. Those who are shooting from a distance, throwing an axe. Wow.
Yeah, I might as well.
Great success. 12 points. And you see him, the axe hits him and sticks, and he just kind of shakes and then he looks down on you just with a look of hatred. Stone trolls hate dwarves. And
Oh, yeah.
and you know this, and here are 5 of them, and one of them has just embedded an axe in him.
It's all right. The feeling is mutual. So now
okay.
can we awe him, or one of us can awe him?
I'm gonna let Bill Ganor and
Oh, okay.
Wanderer have another shot from their bows.
Can I take a shot too?
Yes, you can.
Why is
I'm
that
not-
you select? What are we doing wrong?
I'm out of range weapons, so I was hoping I'd be able to do that, but we shall see.
And you were
What I-
successful.
Select him. Just right click
Yes.
on him?
What, the weapon itself? You just left click on it.
for him, it's
Oh,
just,
double right click on your target.
there we go.
and-
Double right. Okay, cool. My great bow there. I'm just.
God, he's actually really skilled at a bow. Bill Ganor, that is.
I'm not though. That's okay. I let it drop. I'm gonna pull the sword.
Oh my God, me and my rolls.
I take a shot as well.
Ellery, I'll give you a +1. And because he's closer, and you have the element of surprise.
Yeah, terrible.
3 damage. Okay. We now begin actual combat, so choose your stances.
Where'd I go?
Wanderer would go forward stance. Belagana is going to stay distant.
We're just going off hunch and saying every dwarf is going forward.
They will
Sorry,
be,
how-
yes.
Changing this.
Right click on your token.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
sorry, I didn't realize what you're asking.
No problem. Okay. Right click on that was okay. Forward, of course.
And Volvus is going open stance. Okay. All right. All of the NPC dwarves, they're gonna go. You guys go before them.
Yeah, I think it goes by
Focus.
straight.
Focus has got to be on the heroes. So, what makes the most sense then is for Bane to go next, followed by Herobrand.
I'm just gonna swing on my old axe here.
And he also has this troll has a very large tree-shaped club.
Yeah, I'm not having that. But I'll just roll to hit him.
Wow, there you go. $16.
Jesus.
Hoping to get a piercing blow, but this works too. Wow.
All right. So you run up and sink your battle axe into him, and Roar! Oh, he's so pissed off at you right now. Herobrand, you're up.
Should I just hit him, or should I? I want to try something different. I'm gonna try the awe thing.
Okay.
So, I'll yell at him. I am Herobrand, Captain of Dale, called Trollbane. Flee now, or today you shall meet your doom. And I charge at him as I'm screaming that.
Okay.
And let's see. So here we'll do awe. Just straight up, right?
Combat tasks. Intimidate foe. It's an all roll. It's your main action. Do you have a distinctive feature?
I do. I have my, and I point to my dragon clasp as I go, indicating that my ancestors have killed dragons.
Oh, that's an item though, but I mean a distinctive feature.
no.
You've got fierce, dude.
Oh yeah, okay.
Fierce. That's going to give you a bonus die.
And then does the item do anything for that too?
You can't use those in combat. Useful items can
Oh.
only be used outside of combat.
Okay. All right, so get a bonus die. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Okay, here we go.
Do you have to spend hope to use that?
I think you're right. Hold on a second. I'll have you roll an extra dice.
Okay.
Or I have to take a hope point out.
Okay.
Hold on. I forgot all about that. Thanks for reminding me of that one. Let's see. Where you at? Where are you? Distinctive features. Damn it. Actually, I know where to find it quickly. Oh yeah, so you spend one hope and you get +2 dice.
So add one more die. Just roll another 6-sided die.
Yeah.
How do I do that off of this?
You can just roll it from down at the bottom. Below.
Manual dice roll.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a success die.
Yeah, just a 1 6-sider. And take a point of hope out.
Yep. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, so 5. So
5.
5.
You only needed one more point. Your
Okay.
target number's 14 and you got a 13. So really didn't need to roll. But well, unless you got a 6, then it would have been, and you're 1 point from there. You got a 5. Wow. If you got a 6, it would have been a great success, but still, it is successful. And
Gotta beat a 17 over 14.
you see him, he sort of hesitates. Oh! And waits to be seen how else that might affect the rest of it.
Okay.
And Logan's going to attack with an axe. Fails. Dogan attacks with his axe. Gets a heavy blow. 12 damage. I think there's a good chance that this troll is not going to get a chance to
He might be just doing it today.
even run away.
Yeah.
I don't think he's.
You may wish to eat. You may wish to eat my kin, but the food fights back.
Bellar. Fails. And finally, no, I've got 2 more.
He had such a good shot at that too.
Keely rolls. Oh my god.
Dwarves do not like trolls, and trolls do not like dwarves. It is equal.
How many? He rolled 3 bonus successes. That's 3 heavy blows here.
Ironically, he also doesn't have Sauron. He's just like, nope, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, I mean, the success dice themselves.
Yeah.
He's very good at the axe. 24. He managed to secure. Oh my god, I need to throw dragons at you guys to give you a challenge.
I'm surprised he didn't activate a piercing blow on that.
I just chose to. All the heavy blows.
Oh, right.
I knew
right,
that was going to be
right.
enough to do him in.
Oh, that's right, because his feet.
Whoops.
His feet dice. Oh no, he didn't die.
No.
Exploded from power. No, I think his. I just forgot his feet die was so low that it didn't activate. But you know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, because he was in forward stance. That's what gave him the 4 dice. So where did he get all those dice? But he just rolled so well. So before this troll has a chance to even acknowledge fully what he's seeing, a few axes and some arrows go into him, and down he goes. And having to dodge out of the way from his falling body. And with a loud crash, comes crashing to the ground.
Bane kind of wipes the blood off, gives his fellow dwarves a nod, and then goes, "Told you."
Hogar was upset that he didn't get to attack.
I'll go. Ogre, you can bash him in the head and make sure he's dead.
And he does.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to give.
I doubt he's gonna have anything on him, but just in case, you know.
Not very simply dressed. He's got a pouch. It's got some spices in it, and there's a carving knife, and some foul bit of animal that can't quite identify. Some pieces. A giant club.
All
And
right,
that's it.
that's fine. He can turn into stone when the sun comes out.
All right. Now this was near the evening. So are you going to? You were making camp here. So are you going to continue to make camp near the carcass of a troll, or move further?
Can we see another ruin a reasonable distance that we could move to?
There's
Or some
little
wall?
bits.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not as big, but there's a little
Yeah,
bit of
I mean-
stone is always helpful. You can.
Yeah. On the next
There's
floor,
quite a
there's
lot
some
here.
wall
You've
map.
seen you feel like if you walked 20, 30
Yeah.
minutes further down, you might find something.
Let's do that. I think we don't necessarily need to be parking next to a
Yeah.
dead troll, a troll carcass.
All right. And easily you find something. And follow the same watch order until further notice, I guess.
Yeah. It's still raining.
The rain, once you get started setting up camp, the rain is actually stopped. And it looks like the clouds are beginning to part a bit because you're beginning to see some stars.
Oh, that's nice.
Wander watching the skies. So I think we'll have some better weather tomorrow.
Let us hope.
That is
I find-
good.
I find this dreary.
Yes, indeed.
And perhaps with better days comes less.
Saps
Perhaps
my
with better.
spirit.
Perhaps with better days leave clearer skies and less trolls.
Yes. Let us hope.
I look around for some dry pine boughs and stuff to put down on the ground so I'm not lying on wet ground,
Ah, yes.
kind of lean up against one of the stone walls or something and make like a little bit of a bed of dry pine boughs and sit there for a little bit and light the pipe for a minute. A little smoke.
Fulvis still has his bedroll that he sleeps on.
Yeah.
Probably have that too, but
Make
Still-
I'm trying to think what skill would be best for that. 1 second. Yes, explore roll. Make an explore roll for Hairbrand.
oh, okay.
See if you can find some dry.
Okay. Explorer. Good luck. Okay.
You do have a high target number for that.
Yeah, no. It's just dreary.
Yeah.
Just dreary.
You have managed to find some that aren't completely soaked, but they're a little bit damp. And the night goes without event, and the next morning, ready to head out. So let's have another travel roll from Fulvis, please, with a +1, which I forgot to have you do last time. Having Elrond as your patron allows this. Wow. And only a success. Still, it is successful. All right. Okay. Now. Oh, yes, I forgot to advance the time. You are just about to get to where the you're about to get into where the hidden pathways into Rivendell exist, and you have a prisoner with you. Are you going to permit him to see the way into Rivendell?
No.
No, we'll bag his. We'll bag him. We'll bag his head.
Bag him or his head?
His head.
Okay. All right. And he's not really in a position to give you any resistance. So on the day of the 16th... Oh, by the way, it was sunny today, or these past couple days. I forgot to tell you that. On the day of the 16th, you make your way into the hidden valley. The way you know well. And you guys are coming in from the west. Fulvis's token is so small. Oh, I just put Harebrand on top of him. At least these are the right size. I am going to leave out all the tokens for the dwarves that are with you at this point in time, just to keep from having to move about a billion tokens. And it is a beautiful autumn day, as you would expect. And I'm going to, well, Harebrand, I'm going to give you a point of hope back that you spent. Oh. The rest of you haven't lost any hope points, but just the sight.
I spent some.
Oh, did you? Then yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, and Ellery, I think you might have spent one as well. I'm going to give you that one back as well. The sight of seeing the valley kind of fills you with hope and peace, and you know that you can let your guard down here. And you make your way past here is, oops. The guards in that outpost there look to you and they nod and smile. And you make your way out to the courtyard. And you see Lindir come out, waiting on the upper level there, watching you as you approached. And comes down the stair. Maya Govanen Melanon. There Suelanon. You're back. He says this to you, Elleray. And looks around to all the rest of you. I am glad for your safe return. You must be tired from your journeys. And the dwarves you'd rescued, some of them hadn't been here before. So they're a little bit leery about being in the land of the elves. But knowing that you travel with elves and that you were journeying here, I would assume there would have been some discussion on the road as to what it would be like.
They're okay. Could use a little less green in the food, but you can trust them. They're fine for the most part.
Please, I will. At that point, there's a couple of elves that come up from the west here. Aides, stewards of the house, and they are taking your horses and leading them to the stables. Now the stables is the building almost all the way west. It's way over here. And your saddlebags are full of treasure. Although you know that the elves are not going to be stealing your cash, but Lindare, our brethren saw you on your approach. So we have prepared rooms for you. Into the guest house. Please go and relax, and I will have food prepared for you. Obviously, Elleray, you have your own quarters, but
Bow on my head. Do you mind taking this as well? And I just kind of shove the prisoner with a bag on his head forward.
Yeah. Yes. Lindare motions to back here. Oops, come on, clicking you right here. There are guards in this passageway through this outer building. It's kind of a tunnel you go through. And the guard comes and takes this prisoner and takes them back into that building. You know that this outer area here, this is barracks over here, but you know part of the defense of Enladris is along this outer areas, likely holding cells in there as well. Those of you who don't know the land very well, but and they take you to rest. And baths are prepared. Some food is waiting for you in the guest house, which is this building here. And we now enter a fellowship phase. First time we've done one. So the first thing we deal with is updates. Spending experience. And your limitations are you can only raise a skill or combat proficiency or wisdom or valor up 1 level. And for valor or wisdom, you can only raise one of those. You can't choose both. Keep in mind that as far as what would help you, valor is what you use to resist the dread of the shadow, which is the type of valor roll that type of shadow test that you've all made, or those of you who've had to. It's been one about dread. Valor also allows you to gain another reward. So this is the ones where you chose and you got like a keen bow or a close-fitting armor. Or if you have a magic item, and if it has further powers, you use this to justify that it is adapted to you more, and that power is revealed to you. Wisdom helps you resist sources of shadow involving greed or sorcery, but it also allows you to choose another cultural virtue. Let's see, adventure points. So skill points are just for that, skills. Adventure points are for valor, wisdom, and weapon proficiencies. And I put an experience point cost. Let's see. Yes, if you, in the journal tab, there's a journal called the One Ring Rules, but I've made one of the tabs a shortcut to the experience points cost, but it's not seeming to work right now for me. What's going on? Oh, there it is. I'd lost connection from the server for a moment. I can make this visible to you. Well, damn it.
It's funny, I was trying to get into the rule book earlier, and this computer literally won't load it.
There, you should be able to see. Oh, really? Because it's a PDF.
I was able to pull up the experience point costs here.
I should have it. You should be able to see it right now on your screen.
Yep.
So you've got quite a bit to spend.
I'm definitely gonna up my wisdom and take skill of the Eldar, which says when you roll a Gandalf on the feat die, your result counts as a magical success without needing to spend hope.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I am also upping my wisdom because then I am choosing dark for dark business, and I get inspired on all of my rolls when it is nighttime or I'm underground.
That is a great one.
I'm also increasing my wisdom because I'm going to take Dragon Slayer, which makes all my rolls favored on creatures of might 2 or more.
Ooh.
It seems like these trolls
Yep.
are might 2 at least.
Yes, they were. If he'd have gotten to go, he would have. Their might value is how many times they attack, and around that, it also is a measure of their morale. Favored rolls on your attack. Wow. That's cool as hell. Look at these.
Can you ever make skills favored that aren't favored?
Yes. Under general virtues, you could choose mastery, and you can pick 2 skills and make them favored, and you could stack that.
Mhm.
So you could take that multiple times. But it's
Yeah, I
like,
grabbed mastery for my riddle and lore skills.
yeah, and so it's a tough one. Do you choose one of your cultural virtues, which are awesome, or do you choose those? The general virtues they're actually quite powerful, to be honest. Being favored, like 2 skills, man.
Should we do this now, or
Yeah,
do you
go
want us
ahead.
to-
Go ahead and do them.
I increased my valor. So for the reward, can I have a keen bow. Can I make the bow also fell? Could it be 2 things?
It can, but you can only choose valor or wisdom to raise.
Yeah. I'm doing valor and then I'm upping my bow combat proficiency.
Oh, when you talked about your mastery, you did that when character creation.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, you can own. However, you can either upgrade your bow, I think, or well, it depends on if you have enough points, I suppose. No, actually, because you
yeah.
can only upgrade combat proficiency. I don't know. My brain's melting. So, because you choose valor or wisdom, and does combat proficiency fall into that too? Because I know it's
No,
still the same.
you can go through if you have the points. I mean, you could raise your valor to get the what did you say you wanted to add to it?
I add fell so the
Fell.
injury rating goes up by 2.
Yeah, you can do that, and if you've got points left, you could raise, each of your combat skills or combat proficiencies 1 point. So yeah,
That's valor
that's
or
not
wisdom,
limited.
and then Destiny.
Okay.
The only one that's limited is valor or wisdom. You can't have both. Everything else can go up by 1 point, assuming you've got the points. So
Yeah.
weapon proficiencies are from adventure points only, not skill points.
Oh, I was about to ask. Yeah. Okay. So is that
Yeah.
all that adventure points are used for? Is weapon proficiency?
Weapon proficiencies, wisdom, and valor.
Is adventure and skill is skill?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
How do I add the actual virtue on there?
Drag it.
You just
Well, what are you adding?
Um,
The Dragon Slayer?
Dragon Slayer.
You should be able to drag it from the. If you go
From
to
the-
the briefcase icon,
Okay.
and then there's a folder called Virtues, and then you'll see Virtues of the Bardines.
Okay.
You should be able to drag it onto your character sheet. Let me know if it does not work.
No, it worked. Great. Cool. Okay. So
I'm deciding between
that,
2 options for skills.
and then skills. I have 18 points. So raise one is 4.
Yeah, those skill points and adventure points, they get pretty costly to get up to those higher levels. But
Yeah.
there's enough time that goes by from.
I looked what was needed for my axe. It's a lot.
What are you at 3 at your axe at the moment?
Yeah, so I was 2 short if I wanted to upgrade just 1 rank of my axe.
Oh yeah, 20
It's
points, man.
Uh,
Well, you haven't been having a lot of trouble in that area, so.
no, I'm not.
So it's 4.
My- I'm either gonna level up awareness and athletics, or I'm gonna level up stealth and explore, because I suddenly have switched roles.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Okay. All right. Hairbrand's done.
What'd you raise?
But I guess
I raised my awareness and my stealth to each have at least a die in it, so to 1. So that was 8 points, and then I raised my athletics from 1 to 2. So that was another
cool.
8. So
Cool.
does I mean, other than looking for dry boughs, does explore help in any other situation other than the journey? I'm just curious.
Explore. So you can read its description there. It's also right there where the virtues are, but Get
I
back
read
on
it,
track
just-
after a detour. Cope with adverse weather conditions or natural hazards. Create paths through wilderness suitable for others to follow. Choose a suitable place to set up camp. Those are what explorers used for.
Is scan the relevant skill if like while I'm sneaking around I want to see like any sort of openings or opportunities?
Yes, yes, it is. So that's, I was just looking at it right now. Skimming through a book to locate a piece of relevant information, look for concealed doors or hidden inscriptions, recognize familiar face in a crowd, locate a set of tracts.
Okay.
That's the general for that. Awareness is like sixth sense sort of thing. Scan is when you're actively looking for things.
Yeah,
Okay.
what I've noticed is awareness is kind of like perception, and scan is more like investigate.
There you go.
Is your-
Yes.
Yeah. I'll put a point in scan then. Become better at sneaking around and looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Because am I the only other one that's decent at explore? It's the only question I have.
Uh, I I'm not sure. Let's see. Belaganor.
I have 0.
Belaganor has
Because I have,
a point.
I was originally going to be the travel guy because I had 3 in favorite in it, and I had an item for it. But then I was moved
Well,
to explore, and I'm
you
like,
can alternate.
I have 2. Yeah, and I was like, I only have 2 in that. But
Wanderer has 2 in Explorer, but she tends to stick with hunting because it's favored, and she has 2.
yeah,
So have you moved up your Explorer, or you're debating about
not.
it?
I'm debating because I'm either gonna upgrade explore and stealth, or I'm gonna upgrade awareness and athletics.
Ah,
So it's just like,
are you the only Explorer? Is that right at the moment? Anyway.
I think you can only put 1 in the, or can you
Yeah,
put more than 1 in there?
you can. Um,
Yeah, I'm the only one in there at the moment with 2.
I mean, I have 1 in Explorer. That's it.
I have
But
0.
my TN is is the worst for that area. So
0 Explorer for Flawless. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at all the heart skills except for battle and maybe healing.
yeah, my heart and strength are both pretty good, but my wits are not there.
Yeah, I kind of figure for the being a guide, you guys could go back and forth on that one, Bane, and like
Yeah, I'm just
especially when you
trying
get towards areas that are more of dwarven history or dwarven areas, it would make more sense for the story for you to be guiding.
I'm just trying to, because I mean, obviously my strength is better, so it's like athletics and awareness. If I up it, there's a good chance that I just succeed on that a lot. And then, because my wits are kind of okay, but they're at 16, so I'd have to. I mean, stealth, I still have, very low chance at hitting if I were to upgrade it, but it'd be a chance.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, I suppose I could be a team player, and I will up my explore my stuff.
Bumped my stealth to 2.
Haha.
I took insight to 1 because it was favored but at 0. Took persuade to 1. And I'm left with 2 points.
Cool.
Yep. 2 points over here as well. So I upped stealth and I upped explore, so at least we have someone with three dice in it, and I only have to hit a 16, so decent-ish at it.
Not bad. Also, You can all remove 1 point of shadow if you have it.
Oh, good. I only have one.
Oh, do I unload all of my treasure here as well?
It's up to you. You can leave it here for now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave.
They won't take
My
it. So I've removed a point of shadow because you were successful in making a stumbling block in thwarting the actions of the enemy. Collapsing that tunnel, removing the treasure. And so it fills you, it's like it gives you confidence, or that's how you're kind of battling it. The evil that you've seen and experienced, you've realized that you've done something to, to put that at rest, and so it allows you to get over it, is how it works. All right.
Okay.
Is everyone finished with skill advancement and stuff?
Yep.
I'll let Belicanor and Wanderer take care of those next session.
For me, or 2 more points, I could have upgraded my axe. I shall wait for another time.
Well, now that you've raised those other things, maybe when it's time for another fellowship phase,
Yes.
you can justify it. Okay. All right, then. So, let's see. Fulvus, you wanted your bow to be upgraded to fell, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way that would work would be something that the elves would do for you. And they've got...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I figured like since I was spending so much time with elves now, I've either like watched them and learned or asked them to teach me how to use the bow more efficiently.
Yeah. They've got quite a blacksmith here, although that's not a smith sort of thing. You're not hammering out steel for a bow, but still.
I like to imagine it included a lot of setting up apples and firing at them.
Yeah. Well, it's something. It's a physical thing that they do with the bow. So it's not a skill thing. A skill is those are points spent on skill. This is actually setting up the bow better, putting better sights on it.
Oh, I thought he upped his bow skill as well.
No, well, did you, Fulvus?
Sorry, what was the question?
Did you increase your bow skill as well?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yes, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, so in addition to setting up your bow better, plenty of target practice, and who better to teach bow skills than the elves? Yes. Okay. So advance the time. A day goes by. You're now at the weekend. You've had a day of resting and eating. And a messenger comes to you in the guest houses. Elrond has requested your presence now that you've had a moment to relax. And speaking of which, well, I'm not going to worry about it. You've got fatigue points, but by the time you leave Rivendell, they will have gone. Just from being on the road and going through the harsh conditions. We'll leave that out for now. In fact, if you have any fatigue points at all still from before, you can remove those. And those are down on your character sheet.
I think the horses removed most of those.
Yeah. Oh, that's right next to your endurance.
I only had 2.
Which affects your load, which in turn affects your endurance. Sorry, let me subtract it from these 2, Billiganor and Wanderer. And there you go. And you've been summoned to... Oh, God, why is it on that one? You've been summoned to the East Porch, where you met before.
Is this going to officially be a meet patron thing?
Well, okay, here we go. So, you guys get to choose one activity that's all of you. And is that going to be a meet patron? He wants to meet with you regardless, but...
Well, I think meet patron with him does several things. I think again, you'll be able to find out what I think the bow and the ring do.
Yeah, those happen automatically.
And maybe the chain, and I think we get a bonus to journey out of here when we decide to leave. And a few things.
Yeah.
So it kind of benefits us, I think.
So is that what you all would like to do?
Yeah, I'm good with that. But
Do we all choose together, right?
Yeah. So what I'm... Oh, you weren't on the chat when I was talking about it earlier. The rules state, and I'm modifying these. The rules state that you choose one activity that you do as a group, and then you can choose one more activity that you do as a group those that are listed as a free action, and depends on what your calling is. I'm going to change that to where you choose one to do as a group, and then one you can choose to do individually. Unless I decide later that that's very OP, but... So, the items that you could do, things you can choose to do, if you can go to the rule book, it's on page 121, or I'll state them to you here. One is gather rumors, meet patron, ponder storied and figured maps, strengthen fellowship, which gives you a +1 on your fellowship rating until the next fellowship phase, so that's one more fellowship point. Study magical items, write a song, and that's the list. You get more options when it's a Yule time. And songs written in Rivendell, I should tell you this, no matter where you perform them, sing them later, they always have a +1. So if you go and sit in the Hall of Fire where just 24 hours a day is just singing and poetry and storytelling, which is on the west side of the main building. So the benefit you get from singing in battle to make people feel unweary, for example, a song that you wrote in Rivendell would get a +1 on that roll. Or a travel roll while you're traveling to reduce fatigue, you'd get a +1 on that one. So
I see.
So
Okay.
and that's permanent anywhere. You could be in Mordor and sing it, and you still get a +1. Other
What
than
is
that,
meeting with patron?
so meeting with patron, that's where, um, let's see. So your patron is Elrond, and that's usually to choose that as a task. That's usually when you're asking for some sort of assistance. And this is possibly accepting a task requested by the patron in return. So if you're asking for help, then he may ask for you to do something in return. But just to meet with him, say, hey, this is what we found out. What do you think of these magic items? Because you get that for free with him. That's the benefit of having Elrond as your patron. So that doesn't
Plus, we don't.
you meeting with him right now doesn't count as one of your chosen actions in a fellowship phase.
And a +1 to all feat die rolls made to determine journey events.
Yep, that's why I was giving you guys all those +1s on your roll on your journey back. If I'd have been remembered that, I would have given you those on your journey out, but I forgot.
When all there is to be discovered about qualities of all magical artifacts and wondrous items.
So, say this again. So, gather rumors, meet patron, if you're asking for any sort of aid, ponder storied and figured maps, and the benefit of that one is gives you a +1 on your feat die rolls to determine the natures of what happens to you on a journey. And that happens until your next fellowship phase. Sorry, I keep interrupting you, dude.
No, I'm just would that be different than what Elrond gives us
It's
on our journey out?
It would be in addition to. So you'd have +2.
So all right.
Yeah, I was gonna ponder the maps.
Yeah.
That's
And I think only one of us can do one of each, right? Like we can't.
Yeah, and this is making me think my house roll is probably going to be overpowered, because if one of you chooses strengthen fellowship to increase your fellowship rating by 1, one of you chooses pondered storied maps to increase your journey events, but then we'd just make it for that one person.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I just didn't like the fact of write song as a group activity. Now you take a verse and I'll take a verse, and then we'll all do the chorus.
I think if we were doing fellowship phases less than every 6 sessions, it would get overpowered, but I feel like it's pretty thematic that we each kind of do our own thing and get a small bonus till the next one.
Yeah, the only one that's really that stacks up. I mean, the pondered storied maps, that makes sense to benefit that one person. A bonus to have. Writing a song makes perfect sense, always. Strength in fellowship is a group thing because it adds 1 fellowship point. So you've got more hope recovery in the middle of before the end of a session.
Which we've barely needed. I feel like we don't need more.
No.
For now, anyways. We're not blowing through hope at all. You said there was a specific one to study items?
Magic items, yes. Although you get that for free with Elrond. Let me reread that part.
So yeah, my thought with that is we have 2 magic items, so it's like someone could still do that with the ring or the bow, and then Elrond gives the other one.
Yes, you can.
It doesn't matter. It just says all. Like it doesn't. It's not like one. It's normal.
It says you learn all there is to be discovered about the qualities of a marvelous artifact or wondrous item.
Of all marvel.
But
of all marvels.
If for story purposes, like for example, you, LRA, your lore is high, and you can read all the languages of the lore stored in Elrond's library and have full access to it. So you could actually use that to, if you wanted to.
Well, I guess as the group one. Do you guys want to do meet patron as the group one then, or?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you're doing that to ask for aid, so
Oh, yeah.
what aid would you want to ask for?
Well, probably advice on, because now we have 2 targets. So probably which one's the more pressing, along with, all that information we found on Faradrun. And yeah, all of that.
Okay. Let's take care of that in just a moment. Okay, so
And if you can question the prisoner more than I could, though I doubt he knows much.
Fulvus, ponder storied and figured maps. So if you could make a note somewhere on your character sheet or wherever you would remember it until the next fellowship phase, you get a +1. I'm just thinking about this. That would be in all of your travel rolls as a guide. No, it doesn't quite apply to that. Sorry, I'm just rereading it here. Made to determine the nature of events. No, okay, I know how to play it. Just make a note that you've done pondered, storied, and figured maps, and I will apply
Okay.
that when we go to journey phases again, because it can benefit everyone. It's because the roll is made not by the player. It's what I roll, and so the higher I roll, the less evil or bad things happen to you. So that gives you a +1. So that affects all of you. So you're doing that one.
Are we able to edit this journey log from the fellowship thing?
That I'm working on the coding for that. There's a different form. It's quite involved to fill out.
Okay. Good.
And I'm just trying to decide if it was more work than what is. It's where you list who's in the company, the mounts that you've got, the horses. You make a list of all the events that happen, and then there's one drawing the journey path, but you can't really draw it on here. And so I was kind of like, well, I'd have to do a screenshot of the map and then change it all the time. There's a place where you can keep a journal as to what goes on, but it seems to be a little more bookkeeping than what is relevant. But anyway, you can drag that and it shows up on the journey log.
All right. Well, under notes in the fellowship, I put. Well, I think meet patron was already there, but I then put pondered, storied, and figured map bonus. So.
Oh, there you go. That'll work. That's a place to put them. All right. What are the other individual ones do you guys each? So Fulvus is doing his.
So we don't really need the strength and fellowship, right? I mean, we're pretty good with that.
What else is there? There's
Study
that-
magic items, write a song,
I could get a rumor. I
gather
guess,
rumors. Yep.
or I could write a song. I mean, those are my choices, I guess.
Yeah.
Why don't I gather a rumor? I guess, because I'll write a song later.
Yeah. Well, as a captain, I guess you would. I mean, you would gravitate towards strength and fellowship, but I mean, it is.
Yeah, but I mean,
If we're not going to do it.
I think we're pretty good right now, right? I mean, I'll do it if that's what you think we.
Well, I
need
mean, we
that.
can't stack up on it, right? So only one person would do it. Because I mean, what everyone else is doing. So we already did pondered story because there's 1, 2, 3.
For now I'm waiving that. So if you just wanted to pick one, it's fine. I think
Well, I'm saying most of us, unless we all decide to write songs or all decide to get different rumors, I suppose
What are
most
you
of us we
conveying?
could. Well, no, I'm saying we could basically choose every one, except unless more than one of us wanted to gather a rumor, or more than one of us wanted to write a song or something. But or I guess
What were you thinking of doing?
I mean gather rumor probably or strength and fellowship, one of the two. Just because, I guess I could write a song, but I mean, yeah. It's okay. So you want to do gather rumor though?
Yeah. I see your point, Jacob. There's pros and cons with me changing the rule like this, but it makes sense for some because you gather a rumor, it's going to benefit all of you.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure we can gather more than one rumor. That's what
Okay. All right. Unicorn, what were you wanting to do?
I think LRA. Well, I want to clarify: are we learning everything there is to know about the magic items just because of Elrond being our patron? Is that like?
Yeah,
Don't even need this other thing.
Yeah, that's the benefit you have with Elrond as your patron because he knows everything. And he's been around. But if you wanted to for a story to figure out a magic item, then you can, by all means. But it does happen automatically, and he knows everything about them.
Yeah, as long as we take the meet patron action, that is, and he meets.
Yeah.
I guess he can always refuse.
Yeah.
I thought it sounded like we don't even need to use Meet Patron to get that.
No. You need to use meet patron to do that.
I can't
Yeah.
use the PDF to load, so I'm just going off what y'all.
Oh, sorry. It's in the Rivendell
Yeah,
supplement, which I don't have. I don't think I made that available to you guys.
No, each patron has their own little like bonus. Like I think Bilbo does he give you your rumor for free or something? He does something like, or he gets more hope for you. Like each patron does something different
Yeah.
for you.
So the advantage for Elrond is greatest of lore masters. By choosing the meet patron undertaking to visit Elrond, you additionally play a +1 to all feat die rolls made to determine journey events, and you learn all there is to be discovered about the qualities of all marvelous artifacts and wondrous items in the company's possession. So that means that the study magical items choice is irrelevant to your company as long as Elrond is your patron. It would make sense if he wasn't your patron. But that's the benefit that he gives you.
Gloria is going to write a very sad song.
Okay.
Shocking.
I like the word very. Very sad song.
Extremely.
Will not be a song she sings to boost our adventuring. Or journeying, I mean.
Why don't you make it a lay song for councils so a sad song can be used too, even though it's sad. So if you're having a council with somebody you might meet, it might inspire them to action because of the sad things that could happen if you don't do something. You would still get the bonus.
So we have to pick a specific bonus, or does the song just apply when we use it for anything?
You have to pick whether it's a walking song,
what skill it appeals
a song of victory, or a lay song, is what they call it, which is, so walking song is for journeys, victory is for combat, and a lay song is for councils.
I see.
Like throughout the books, Gandalf and Legolas even too just broke out into song during councils, just sing a verse or two, and it influenced the council. So when you have a council and you're trying to get something achieved, like you're trying to get someone to do something for you, each of you make die rolls for relevant skills to influence that. So one of them could be singing a song.
So do these songs that already exist have ones or certain lays or no?
I think I wrote. Hold on, I took a bunch of songs from the books, and I didn't mark them as. I mean, some of them, like there's some Hobbit songs called a walking song or a drinking song, or the road goes ever on. That's definitely for journeys, and I didn't go through and make all that. Journey's End. There's another one for journeys.
It's like the Lay of Luthien that Aragorn sings.
Yeah. And what's that other Elvish song? That's Namaria. I didn't go through and signify for those. Technically, the rules are the only songs you can actually use are the ones you write yourself or your company writes. But I thought that's kind of ridiculous because you would know other songs. And songs that have been written about past heroic deeds would be relevant. So I've always done it to where if you're going to do that, you have to roll your song roll to see if you know the song. How well you remember the lyrics.
It's like Aragorn sings, a little bit when they're journeying to Rivendell, and then he also recites it when he becomes king.
Right.
Well, he just repeats what Elendil has said. Oh, well, no, he sings. He does sing a little bit. Yeah.
So, all right. So you're going to write a song.
I was hoping to be a healing song, but I think lay makes the most sense of the options.
I guess I'll gather the rumors.
Okay. And Jacob, what were you planning to do? I forget.
Elvis did that. I don't know. I was kind of bouncing between either strengthen fellowship, gather rumors, or write a song. But we already have 1 and 2 of those, I believe. But I mean, I guess we could get another song. We could get more rumors, but well, we don't think we need more fellowship points. I guess we have a patron where fellowship points don't really matter as much. I guess other patrons give benefits to spending fellowship points. But
yeah, that's their advantage.
I guess if that's the case, I'm sure he's gonna give us enough information already. I'm gonna spend some time with Ellery. I'm gonna write a song.
Okay. What kind of song are you gonna write?
I'm gonna write the song I sung, which would be a song of battle, probably.
Okay. So.
And I will find where I put it.
The game encourages players to at least, well, you need to come up with a song title, but it does encourage you to do lyrics. Now, obviously, if that's not something you feel like you can do or you're comfortable with, I don't require it. But we will need a name of it.
Yes,
and then we'll
find where it went.
And then let me know, and I'll add it to the song list, and then indicate that it's also got a +1 because it was composed here.
Where would I want?
And then if you teach it to anyone else in the party, they can also sing it as well. Get the same benefit.
I could spell.
I'm going to spend more time on how I feel about these fellowship phase rules. All right. I'll close that. So, Elrond has summoned you to the porch, the east porch, where he meets with people quite often. Welcome back, my friends. I'm glad to see that you have arrived safely. And with so many dwarves rescued, but I take it still no news of Thorin?
There is news, though. It also goes with more Dor needing to be rescued.
Please, be seated and tell me what you have gained.
All right. I'll move to a seat.
Elrond, we've heard of Thor and Ulrich. They're out west, just north of the Shire in Bree.
In what region?
We believe the North Downs.
When you were here before, there was Wanderer, you had mentioned about the increase in bandit activity, possibly
Indeed.
being localized in the North Downs. That would line up with that.
So if they've moved on, they've gone to Mount Graham. That is where Radgul is.
That is dark news indeed. Very dark news.
Although, what we thought was once a united front, there are actually multiple factions, it seems, to some degree. There is Radgul in Mount Graham, and there is a troll-kin captain out of the south. Mormog, or they call him the Black Captain. Or the captain. Was it the Black Captain or the Captain? Something like that.
It was the captain.
The Captain. And he seems to be trying to unite the Trollkin. And right now, or well, not now, but he's trying to gather as many as he can to the cold. Put it on the map, I thought. The Coldcleave.
The Broadcleave.
Broadcleave. To the Broadcleave.
Mormog. That name is wholly new to me. Is he... It must be someone who is not from this region.
No, they say he came. He came from other lands, from the south, potentially even as far as Mordor.
From Mordor. And you can see a look of concern on his face. The Black Hand is sending out his captains into the Eriador. This is indeed troubling.
and he seems to have been in control of the bandits. At least the ones we encountered, and one of which lies in your cells.
Yeah, he is not one for speaking. Little has he revealed to us.
To be honest, I don't know how much he really knows, but, you know.
We have gathered that he was the guard of a keep, and that work was being carried out down below.
Aye,
But
that's
of
where we
that he
found
did
the
not-
door.
What were they doing? What was the work that was going on there?
They were having them dig a tunnel under the Horwell.
What?
To transport unseen and unmolested by the sun and others. We collapsed some of it, or as much as we could. Obviously, we did not want to stay there over long.
Tunnel under the Horwell. That would allow vast swaths of the enemy to pass west into Eriador. What is the purpose? Your efforts have answered some questions, and they have raised many more.
Aye, indeed. And they are building it big enough for trolls, so... And there was something even stranger down there. A vault or cell of some kind.
Vault for a cell for who or what?
I'll give Elleray the scrap of etching. To show him, or she couldn't read it earlier, but
Elrond takes it and looks over it. This is an ancient spell. From out of Numenor. From ancient days. One of binding. It says... They were unable to destroy the creature, for its power was great, and it was touched by the hands of Sauron. Binding the creature was the best they could hope for, but ages ago. To break such a spell would require quite a bit of power, and But you found no occupant in this cell?
no, not at the time, though a day or so after we did encounter one who claimed to be. A fair spirit, you could say, who named herself Faradrun.
Faradrun.
Amaya, she claimed.
One of the Maiar was imprisoned in this vault?
She claimed she had served, or had been tricked into serving the Dark Lord. And now she sought to be freed, but was enslaved to them once more. And thought she could find help here in Rivendell, though we fought against that, at least for the moment.
Sauron was once a Maiar as well. Do not know if this one is fully trustworthy. But she openly claims her possession by the Dark Lord and her willingness or her desire to defy it.
Did she offer you anything?
He provided this information on where Radgul was and where Mormog was. Though we had supporting information for that as well. But
He's deep in thought. Faradrone. That name is familiar to me, but I can't quite place it. And she had been in prison for some time.
it would seem so with the Numenorian script, you say. So, and it looked untouched for at least an age, based on the dust.
I shall
She
have.
was freed from the shell, but she was still shackled to some degree.
What else did she tell you? If you were to help her, how are you to let her know?
We were to meet her at the Broadcleave,
So far
and she would
north.
actually assist us against the trolls and her new unrequited master at this point. And that she would perhaps lay a blessing, I'll say with doubt, upon us to assist us in going unseen.
So far north. So close to the enemy. I can see why you might have some doubts. Quite a dangerous journey to go that far north. Deep in the troll country, and you say this is where Mormog is heading.
Yes. Apparently he is going there and summoning trollkin from as far as he can gather. To gather as many of them as he can to his cause.
And the journey sounds all the more dangerous. But the gathering of trolls, senses are very keen. But she offered to help you.
She did. We were perhaps hoping for your guidance in this. We wish to find Thorin, of course, but he can be anywhere from the North Downs to Mount Graham. This troll business sounds pressing, and the orcs still rampage up north with brigands.
It is a tough choice before you. I agree, this knowledge, if it is true, if it is not a trap, to learn the plans of the enemy. I mean, it could be related even to the kidnapping of the dwarves. I will have to consult in my library to see if I have any record of this Faradrone. The name is familiar, but I can't quite place it.
Knowing which of the Valar she served before her captivity might help us to understand her better. We also entreated her to seek information on where Thorn may have been taken?
She claimed she was a huntsman, I believe, or huntswoman. I believe she said
I
Arome.
beam
Arome.
Orome, no?
Orama. Uh-huh. Orama. There was a huntsman of. There is a legend of a huntsman of. Huntswoman of Orome. In ancient times known as Arumina. Who went missing. I wonder if it is one and the same. I will consult my books of lore, and I will come back to you with whatever I may gain from that.
Oh, in the vault were also uh, Mormog's whole horde, you could say. So we decided to not allow him to buy any more minions in that regard. But we also found, well, one, the relics of Wanderer's folk, and also Pelican, or your bow, and you found something too, Fulvus, right?
And
The ring, right?
yes,
Yeah, I was just
he
saying, just hadn't seen it.
Bill Ganner holds out his bow. Alan grabs it and looks it over. This is Guayamente, crafted in Eregion in the Second Age for the wars against Angmar. And this one with a particular focus on the many-legged spawn of Ungoliant. And he holds it up and takes sight with it. It has the ability to make your sight be true and clear. Trusty weapon, may it aid you in battle, Biliganor. And he hands it back to him. And you say you found a ring.
Worry creeps onto his face.
Yes, this ring, my companions say it makes me harder to see to them.
Does it indeed? May I see it?
Yeah, I hand it over.
This is of Numenor origin. Second Age. And he flips it over. Ah, yes. This came out of Mittelmar, a land near the center of what was Numenor. This was used by these rings. There was more than one of these. They were used by the king's spies to remain unnoticed and undetected. I've seen one of these only once before, but that was ages ago. May it aid you, Master Fulvus, although you hardly need help in remaining unseen. But with this ring, you may remain unseen under the very nose of someone looking for you. And he bends down and hands it back to you. And I will make available to you in the handouts. I'll let you all see it. A handout. There's one for the Ring of Mittelmar. And there is a picture of it. Actually, I just show it to you right now.
Well,
Ah,
rune representing a mouse.
And I'll also make available to you. Let's see. So there's already the Guayamenta, but there's now a tab opened up that has the history. As well as a picture.
cool.
So, my companions. Your task before you. There are choices. Should you follow it? But there is one on his way here. I have felt it. Who may offer further insight. And I feel he will be here soon. But until such time, please rest further from your journey, for if you are to journey forth, you need all of your energy available to you.
Not a response.
And Master Fulvus, I understand that you would like some assistance with the shooting of a bow.
Yes, I've seen the accuracy of the elves now, and I wish to learn from them.
We have excellent weaponsmiths here, and I will have them have a look at your weapon. And excellent archers as well, so I'm sure there is time to be spent. And with that, we shall have a feast tonight. You are deserved of this. Until that time, please make use of the lands, and I will see you this evening. And he's got a look on his face, just thinking, probably about Faradrun. And he goes in the house. And now his library is accessible by stairs, which is this balcony down here. But obviously you're not following him, but that's... He keeps thinking, his mind never stopped being thoughtful once you mentioned that. So... I guess hanging about for the day, you come to the evening, and the feast is prepared. Now, there's a head table up on a dais. And there's two long tables down on the long hall. Now, the feasting hall is, or the main hall is here on the right side, this big area here, but down on the ground floor. Above there is an area for elvish minstrels on a balcony to overlook, who are performing. So the head table is across this area here, underneath the roof. Long ways down here are two long tables for everyone else. In the center, so Elrond sits over here on the right hand side, but in the center is a canopied chair that no one sits in. And you are invited to sit to his left and right at the main table with him. Elleray knows that the canopied area was for his wife. But now it is for Arwen when she is here. She is still visiting her family in Lorien. It was 3 weeks ago, actually, that you set out from Rivendell, so it hasn't been too much time. And whilst you're eating, he tells you that Farad'run is to be trusted, unless from some deception that is unforeseen to any of us. Farad'run is another name that Eramina was known as. An ally amongst the Maiar is a blessing not to be taken lightly. But to remove the curse upon her will require something attached to the shadow, some connection, particularly something belonging to a powerful being high up in the ranks of the shadow. You will find possibly something of this nature, perhaps in the ruins of Fornost, where the Witch King held court for a while, upon the defeat of Arnor, or in Mount Gram, or in Carn Dûm. But the latter two, filled with much danger. If Mount Gram is the realm of Radgul, then he will have many a host of orc there. And Carn Dûm is the realm of the Witch King that we overthrew ages ago. But the cracks and the crevices of that place, their host of the shadow fled down into them. We were not able to defeat all. And it could very well be crawling with minions of the shadow. Your success I cannot guarantee. That you would find something there, but we need something to make a connection. But I do believe it is possible to lift this curse, although it would involve a lot of great magic. If you head to the North Downs to perhaps find the location of Thorin, perhaps well, Fornost would be on your doorstep there. If you could possibly find something. Still, that is a bit of a long shot. But that is what I've been able to uncover since we met this morning. And the food you're eating is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Especially with what you've had on the road. Hell, the food you had yesterday was great, but they've spared no expense on the quality of the feast you're having tonight. And on the drink as well. And the songs that the elven minstrels are performing lift your spirits. Although anything from the elves, there is a hint of sadness tinged within it. But you feel you're in good company. Is there anything you wish to do or say? I've talked for quite a while on what's going on.
I'm assuming, I don't know if during our previous meeting or whatever, but probably would have shown him on the map where we have been, like where the ambush was at the last bridge and the river camp and the Broken Keep, because I'm sure he has scouts that can keep an eye on that.
Yes. I can tell you that the Rangers have stepped up their patrols around the Shire and Bree. Now that we know the enemy is in movement, they are doing their part as best they can.
That is good. You said there was someone who was coming as well to talk with us?
Yes, indeed. Perhaps tomorrow may bring news.
In that case, well, I mean, he's been pretty even-handed on what our next course should be, but I'll kind of broach the subject again. It's like, do you have a suggestion on which should be the most pressing course of action?
There are choices before you. And who is to say which is the better action? To learn the plans of the enemy would be of a great boon upon us, would aid us. Within your original quest to recover the son of the king. Days have passed, weeks have passed. You say, from the dwarves you have rescued, it was about a month ago last they saw him, or 5 weeks now. So we know he was still alive at that point. If the enemy wanted him dead, then would they have waited? Why do they hang on to him? What is the function of that?
Apparently, Radgul has a collection of dwarves and others he seems worthy. Apparently, among them are the hobbits and Thorin, who are being ferried to him in Mount Graham. Apparently, it was Ragul himself who. What was it? I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Was it Ragul or Mormog that attacked them and ambushed them?
That was Radgul.
It was Ragul himself who attacked Thorin's group and claimed many of them.
The hobbits will be known to those from Mount Graham. I understand why they are hated. Reminded of the story of Bulror Took. Who killed their king. There may be revenge is part of their purpose here for this with the hobbits. So, in answer to your question, Master Dwarf, which path should you take? Both are equally in need. It's not an easy choice to make. You say this meeting of the troll kind is in now but a couple of weeks away.
That is what was told to us, yes.
Now, the other dwarves you rescued are here at the table as well. 5 of them. It has not
very
been
vocal about what they want.
it has not been in recent times or ever really that so many dwarves have been in attendance at an elvish feast in Rivendell. But here there are 6. Belar speaks up. It says, I am keen to make contact with my companions, Gilriath and Rudigar, and Aedoras, who is injured. I am keen to head west. And if in the North Downs is where Thorin may be, then perhaps I and some of my fellow dwarves here, we would journey west. Meet up with my companions, learn what they have to say, and then from there head north. Which would give you time to go and see what Mormog is up to. By the time you found that out and headed west, we might meet in the North Downs at roughly the same time, or thereabouts. At least that is what I propose.
Would achieve both goals. The only downside is us having to trek cross country, of course, but you know, that's what we must do.
Well, you have good steeds.
We do. Though I am not from here, I've heard the lands of Rudar are not so kind to travelers, but if we can get to the North Downs and then perhaps achieve our other goals, and if we, even though they seem not currently aligned, if we break up this troll gathering and stop them from meeting up with Radgul, it would stop a united front of the enemy.
Well, we would be 5 dwarves headed west. Although we would be a bit delayed whilst I found my companions. I feel like that would allow both your party and ours to meet. Say we meet in Fornost.
Is Fornos? I've never been. Is Fornos secure? It seems like it fell to the enemy in the past, so I
Yeah,
just.
Wanderer pipes up. It is a ruin. Used to be the seat of power at one point, which is why the Witch King held court there for a time. Seat of power for the realm of Arnor, that is. The Rangers do keep an eye on it. I would say the south of Fornost would be a better place to meet. Just south of it.
Well, show my brethren where safely to stop. I would not have to wish to rescue them again. And I kind of give a chuckle.
Gilriath will know the way. If you are to meet up with them, she will be able to lead you there. Talendil. That is who I met up with prior to us first meeting up here in Rivendell. Informed me that he was returning to his camp in Fornost. All rangers know of its location.
Well, seems like we have a course of action then. Unless anyone has different thoughts.
Any ideas from the rest of you?
Bane will take this break in silence of talking to drink his mead, whatever they provided him with.
It sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And if Faradrun is to be trusted, we can stop this troll threat and then hope to free her and inform her of where sort of to be nearby. And if she can continue to spy on the enemy in the meantime, then more the benefit.
Do we know what's in Fornost right now?
Wanderer says, Fornost used to be an area where us rangers dwelt. But bandits increased in number, and we were forced to abandon it. We have hidden camps nearby, and we do keep an eye on it. And when we can, we take care of adversaries that are there. But it is a ruined city, an ancient capital. But there are many places to hide within it.
How long will the journey be from here?
To Fornost. Let me see. I need to look at that myself. Hold on.
Like 450 miles if
Well,
we're
if you
taking just the roads.
you just take the roads, you're looking at about a 3-week journey time.
Yeah, and we're talking about doing this first, which would be
Maybe a little
I'm
bit
assuming
less than
somewhere
3
around-
weeks. Actually, now that I think about it. But going across country,
because we'd have to go to the broad. If our current plan holds, it's somewhere around here. Because the source of the Horwells is somewhere around here.
yeah.
which would be like 100 miles, and then have to cross the Horwell somehow, which I guess at the source would be easier, and then another
350, I
300
see.
Yeah.
through Rudar, the Cold Fells and Rudar, part of
Yeah.
the Ettenmoors maybe.
So traveling by road, you could do it in under 3 weeks. On horseback, that is, because you've got an easy path and you've got horses. When you had rough terrain, then you're looking at, instead of just under 3 weeks, you're looking at closer to 4, if not just over. But if they're going to be looking for the companions and dealing with, you know, Aderos's injuries, if he's not fully healed, then you won't be too far behind them. And they could scout.
Was it ever confirmed that Thorin and Ulrich were in Mount Graham, or is that just a suspicion?
Well, that's where they're eventually going to be brought, because that's where Radgul's stuff
Yeah,
is.
the dwarves said that sometimes people were taken out, but the last that they had seen, Thorin was still in what they believed was the North Downs.
Oh, okay. That's what this red X is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put that there
It's
to
a
help out.
speculation.
Roughly.
Well, I believe the hobbits are also with Thorin and Ulrich going to Radgul. So maybe we can see if we catch them before they get to Mount Graham. Is this area like mostly flat and
barren.
clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's-
Rudar's pretty hilly and barren.
Yeah, over in this region, yes. As soon as you get over here, it gets more to be in plains, but barren, and it is cold or colder up there. And it's the autumn. By the time you got there, you're going to be you're at the beginning edge of autumn. You're going to be at the ending of autumn and getting into winter.
Yeah. Maybe we can follow these hills and then head over to Fornos just in case we see Thorin and the company of orcs.
Yeah, potentially. As long as we're not going, too far north out of our way, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm supposing if we're in that area, we can kind of see for a while. If anyone is near us to see.
Yep.
Especially with our elven compatriots.
Visibility will be good for them, yes. Without as many hills or as many trees in the way. There are some up there, but it's just compared to what you've been in, it's pretty much more sparse. All right.
Though if they're marching in a host like the one we saw, like the one we saw, then I'm up to take on any orcs, but even still, that's a host of them might be a little much for us to take.
Better to know where they are.
Yes, true.
Will Hogar go with you guys, or will he go with the rest of the dwarves? What is your preference?
I think it'd be nice for him to come with us, because then at least he can guard our camp or our horses while we're doing other things. I don't know about you guys, but
Any opinions?
He's your companion, so I'll let you make the decision.
do you have a preference, Hogar?
I'll come
So
with
yeah.
you.
There we have it. All right.
So, Don, what was you saying?
that was no. I'm fine. Sorry. I'm good.
All right.
All right. Just be ready to get more saddle sore, friend. That's all. But probably more trolls to hit.
All right. So you finish the feast and eventually go to bed. You have your guest houses over here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of accommodations over here in this area. I mean, that is the balcony that, at least in the films, that both Bilbo and Frodo looked out upon. And the next morning comes. And after you've gotten up and you've gotten, they bring food to you there at the guest house, just basic sort of snacks like for breakfast and such. But then you start to hear from the elves around you, people come in that someone is approaching, and they're quite excited. Like, is it him? And they're all leaving to go out and look upon like walkways and balconies. Quite excited. Not everyone. It's not like a whole. There's just a mass, you know. Every elf in Rivendell is leaving the buildings to come out and look. No, there's just some of them are going out. You know very well, just from the Hidden Valley, that they have elves as lookouts far, far away, and they pass messages to each other. That's how they get word back to Rivendell, just from, you know, elves placed periodically, and they just pass a message to each. So there's never really any surprise of someone approaching. Do you all stay inside?
I'm gonna kind of, as inconspicuously as possible, sort of follow some of the elves out a little bit and like kind of peek out there. What are they looking at? Who's here? Who's coming?
We'll go off a balcony.
Yeah.
I'm moving your tokens over there slowly. Go ahead, Chris.
I'll sneakily take a look as well.
And Elleray is probably not there. She has her own quarters.
He doesn't want to stay with us peasants. I got my own nice room.
Yeah. And from the east, so the pathway that goes on up into the mountains, you see a lone rider. On a powerful horse. And this rider is, though it's quite in the distance, you can't see it clearly, but as it gets closer, you begin to make out some features. I mean, Bella Gannar can see him fairly clearly, but so you've got these buildings kind of block some of this, but this pathway up here is higher up. But this rider seems to be wearing all gray, with a blue pointed hat and a long white beard.
Do we hear the elves say anything?
Yeah,
Any mumble?
yeah. You hear a single word, Mithrandir. And he rides on up. And goes into the courtyard. And you're partially blocked. These buildings here, is the best tiles I can get to make that. But they're actually, it's not walled. It's more of like a arched sort of walkway, so you can kind of see through it. But you see Elrond and Lindir there as the rider dismounts. Fulvus, you recognize him for who he is perfectly. Wanderer, I believe. Just looking at your character histories. Wanderer thinks she knows who it is, but Fulvus, you definitely know. You are friends. But
I was at the Battle of Five Armies, so I might know him by reputation and sight. But
yes, you would do. Harabrand, I don't believe you had mentioned it. Although legend could precede. And you see Elrond, embraces him, and obviously you can't hear what they're talking about, but quite pleased to see him. And then, typical Elrond fashion, somber look comes over his face. Lindir leads the horse away and gives it to an aide who takes it past your balcony on this way towards the stables. And then they go inside. And so it's still early morning. You've only just woken up and had a few bites to eat and washed your face, ready for the day. You can feel the weariness again beginning to leave you, although with plans in place of what you might do. You begin to think of the road, perhaps with a bit of dread or a bit of excitement. But for now, you must rest a bit more. You want to be fully rested for the road ahead.
Applied for this. Or are we planning a month and a half journey?
Yes, you are. But by the time you fulfill all of that and come back to Rivendell, should you come back to Rivendell, yeah, it'll definitely be Yule. Because the journey back, if you come back by road, that'll be just under 3 weeks. And if you're got about 4 weeks, so you're looking at a couple of months or just over a couple months. I need to advance the day one. is now the 18th of Urama. Okay, with only 20 minutes left, I figure it might be a good time to stop before we go any further.
Yeah, unless Gandalf's gonna impart upon us some wisdom.
Yeah, you asked for gathering rumors, so
Yes.
that doesn't mean like, how do we make Gandalf appear? I know. Let's just gather rumors. That is, it just worked out, actually, in this one.
Well, he's his own patron.
He is, he can be, but he's not your patron. Patrons can
No.
change, as you may or may not know if you've read the rules. It just depends on how things change and the habits. But yeah, all right. So let's impart some experience points for today. And no, you can't spend them before you leave.
So do we just subtract the other ones that we had used before?
There's
Oh,
one thing that says total, and then one thing that says what you have. So you could just subtract the.
Oh
what you
yeah,
have left.
make sure you've subtracted everything that you've spent.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Another.
Could you just give us 3?
Oh yeah, he can do that. I
I'll
will
be-
not add it.
Yeah, I'm about to do it. So if you've already subtracted what you've taken, I'll go ahead and add it to you guys now.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let's see.
So there's Fulvus
Bane is good to get him.
and Elleray. There's your points. Bane. There's yours.
Hold on. He's down to 2 skill points he had left. Okay.
And Hairbrand, are you ready?
Let's see. I spent my skill points are good. My adventure points was 12. No, I'm not good on my adventure points. Hey Jake, how much was that? How much should we spend on adventure points?
If you went to 3, that'd be 12.
So then, okay, so now I'm good. Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, and there you go. There's your points for today.
Oh, if I could spend on my axe, I would. All right. Anyway.
But you've spent points on other things now, so you need a lot more points, don't you, for Axe?
Well, I'm saying if I wanted to,
Next
because
time.
I officially you take up my
Or
if I wanted to up my valor, because then my axe would get a nice little upgrade. But we're gonna wait for that.
Yeah.
I needed 2 more points and another fellowship phase, so we will wait.
Yeah. Well,
But I'll still take inspiration. I'll take inspiration on all my rolls for half of the day and underground.
the time until the next fellowship phase, and it'll be Yule, so you get a bonus. So you're gonna have quite a lot of points.
Well, especially if we're gonna be traveling for months, I feel like it's gonna be a few sessions at least. Go stop some trolls, go to Fornos, go find Thorin, or at least where Thorin was.
Yeah. Quite a lot ahead there. All right,
I did post my song in the.
Yeah, I will add that to the list of songs, and then I'll make a note of it that it was composed in Rivendell, so as a +1.
And then I saw you did like for one of the songs like a translation. So the first part is Dwarvish, the second part.
Yeah.
In parentheses.
Kuzdul. I believe
Yes,
it's the name of that language, if I got it right.
Yes. Yeah. Bane saw Gandalf and went Tharkun, which everyone else would probably be confused about, except the other dwarf.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have not seen Gandalf before. I assume probably no.
I was in the Battle of 5 Armies, so that's where I probably at least saw him. But
Yeah, I mean, I've probably heard of him then because of that. But,
Yeah, the legend is there.
Tharkun is what the dwarves call him, so I know it's Tharkun.
in Canis, in the lands of the south. Yeah.
Yeah, although I don't think any of us are from the south.
And to the east, I go not.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And that completes this session.